All right, let me try this again. I'm making this too long. So, this trailer parked here with that wood block under the tire reminded me of a story. When I was in high school, putting hay in my parents' barn, they had a 30 by 60 pole shed at the bottom of a little bit of a slope in the yard, and then there was an apron that went back up. So, we would pile hay in there at 12-foot sidewalls, never used an elevator. Threw the high ones off the top of the load, threw the low ones off the bottom of the load. Stuff them up into between the trusses as good as you could. You could stuff a lot of hay in there. The sides were fine because you just pull in with the tractor right down the middle, throw them off the side, out the back, on the road, back to the field. The trouble came when you had to pile the middle because of that slope. Can't pull a tractor through anymore, so you got to let the trailer down the slope and then push it in. So Grandpa had cross braces on the back of his steel cross braces for pushing into his bank barn with, he had a push bar on the front of the B mounted to the cultivator mount. So we had the loader mount on the front of our 3020. You could kind of do the same thing without banging into the hood of the tractor. So we had been filling in the center of the barn a couple of days in a row. We had probably 20 loads down the center. And I was running loads home, and we had kind of the same guys unloading in the barn. So every time we'd pull up, stop, my cousin Dan would throw a oak chunk of firewood under the front tire, pull a pin. I'd drive around the back, hook a chain to that crossbar. Then he'd wrap that chain and hook it up on the front of the loader mount. I'd pull back, he'd kick the firewood out, grab the tongue, drive it in. Well, last load of the day, the guys from the field came in, and my mom was cooking supper for everybody. And Scott, who helped us make hay, my dad let him bow hunt down the hay fields, and I think he just liked it. We had a lot of fun with him. He's gonna run the tongue and guide the trailer into the barn. My cousin Dan's still hooking it up. Well, the neighbor comes walking up and sees the way he's wrapping it on the loader mount. And no, not like that. That'll never work. So he takes over, does it his way. I pulled it back. Scott kicked the chunk of firewood out, picked up the tongue, chain come off, and there's Scott with the tongue in his hand, nothing to hold the trailer, and a wall of hay down slope in front of him if he goes into the barn, and he's going to be at considerable speed when he gets there. So he decides that's a really bad idea. So he figures his next best option is to turn to the left and just let it run out into the yard. So he cranks the drawbar over on the trailer, and he's running, and he gets to like max speed. The slope was enough that loaded trailer really got going. He realizes that this is not going to work. Well, he still apparently didn't think that he could get out of the way of the trailer fast enough, so he dropped the drawbar and climbed straight up the face of the trailer just before it went through the riding arena fence, which was, let me turn you, like ours here. I got that pipe on the posts. It's basically the same way, treated 4x4s, but it had rough cut hemlock and elm for boards on it. So the tongue is in the ground, the sod is flying, the trailer is not slowing down, it's just flinging grass. Scott's up on top of the load when it hits the fence. Got one 4x4 right square. Took that 4x4 down, broke another one, and took 3 sections of fence with it. I guess you had to be there for to see how funny it was, but I just figured I'd tell you guys that story. So as of now, I counted with carryover from last year, I've got enough hay to feed everything for the winter, which is a really good thing. I got the sorghum to cut yet. I'll have the oats across the road to cut yet. I got a field down for tomorrow, and that I've got 2 other places to cut, so I should be in pretty good shape for the winter. We'll see what we end up with here. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed my story. Thanks for watching.